So we are out here in the middle, and just to let you know, at the moment while we're doing this inspection, it's around 37 degrees. It's not likely to change too much temperature-wise. We're not likely to see too much of a difference in a temperature change. Where we are at the moment with our pitch, she's hard. She is absolutely rock solid at the moment. You can see there's a fair bit of green on the top, so it's going to hold together. We're not expecting it to crumble too much, but as you can see, this is what it's like basically all the way along. There's no big cracks in the pitch at all. There's nothing for the batsmen to worry about. There's nothing really for the bowlers to get their teeth into either the seamers or the spin bowlers. There's nothing there. We expect it to stay as we are as we go through tonight. Tonight is probably conditions A1 for the batsmen. So we are out here in the middle, and just to let you know, at the moment, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Kensington Oval, where we are here for this 2020 match between Kensington District Cricket Club and East Torrens District Cricket Club. We're just going to hand over now and do the coin toss.
Heads. Oh, good toss,
Tails. So Kensington District Cricket Club have won the toss, and I'll talk to Elliot Opie. Elliot, what's your decision?
We'll bat first.
That is not surprising considering the way the pitch looks. And how do you feel about tonight?
Yeah, good. We're 2 from 2 in these games, so hopefully win tonight will get us into the final. So yeah, good performance on the board.
Okay, and we'll just have a quick chat with the East Torrens captain, Mr. Lehman. Fielding first, how do you feel? How is it going to go? We've had a look at the wicket. You've had a look at the wicket. It's definitely a batsman's wicket.
Yeah, you know, I probably would have bowled first if we won the toss. No, I definitely would have batted on that.
Just taking something out of the Joe Root playbook.
Yeah, correct. No, it looks really good. The outfield looks good. Wicket looks good. So, yeah, hopefully we can restrict them and then chase whatever they get.
So we reckon runs will be on the board tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, find yourself a nice comfy spot. Settle in for some outstanding 2020 cricket. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the commentary position. I am joined in commentary tonight by Jamie Pinelli. Thank you very much for joining us, Jamie. Beautiful evening we have for cricket tonight. Absolutely fantastic. The temperature mid-30s, around 35, 36 at the moment. It's probably going to stay around that as we go through the night. As we just saw, Kensington won the toss, and they've chosen to bat, which is hardly surprising.
Especially on a night like this, T20, you would back yourself to get runs on the board, and Elliot Opie had no indecision on batting first.
No, and I think as much as Jake Lehman jokingly said he was going to have a bowl, had no consideration whatsoever of having a bowl. We did have a look at the pitch. We will just go through that pitch inspection right now. So we are out here in the middle, and just to let you know, at the moment while we're doing this inspection, it's around 37 degrees. It's not likely to change too much temperature-wise. We're not likely to see too much of a difference in a temperature change. Where we are at the moment with our pitch, she's hard. She is absolutely rock solid at the moment. You can see there's a fair bit of green on the top, so it's going to hold together. We're not expecting it to crumble too much, but as you can see, this is what it's like basically all the way along. There's no big cracks in the pitch at all. There's nothing for the batsmen to worry about. There's nothing really for the bowlers to get their teeth into either the seamers or the spin bowlers. There's nothing there. We expect it to stay as we are as we go through tonight. Tonight is probably conditions A1 for the batsmen. So we are about, well, we're about ready to go. It looks like we have James Miller's going to be opening the bowling for East Torrens. And the batsman. I haven't got my lineup yet for Kensington.
Yep.
So
John Dalton will be taking face. John Dalton,
yeah,
Redbacks cricketer, fine young player, and the all-time leading run scorer in Jake Brown for the A grade.
yeah.
Fantastic cricketer, long-standing run maker, and this is the dynamic opening partnership actually.
So you're 2 from 2 at the moment. I say you, with full disclosure, you are a Kensington legend, I'm told. So full disclosure, you are a Kensington boy. So when I say you, I'm referring to Kensington.
Yeah,
sure, at some point we'll get somebody from the red and the blue with us at the moment. And just who was backing up? Who's backing up? So Jake Brown is backing up at the moment. Who's taking strike?
Yeah, John Dalton.
John Dalton. Yeah. You did tell me that. I'm going to try and keep as best a score as I can. Yeah. And we are getting ready to go. Perfect evening for cricket.
It's beautiful.
What we should say at the moment is that Mr. Dalton right now has the short offside boundary. Yeah. But we are off and running. That one beats the fielder first off, and he'll get off to a nice easy single.
It's no surprise sometimes we find now with T20, you'll get your spinners opening up, trying to take the pace off the ball, and you can see James Miller will look to vary his pace and make sure there's nothing coming on too easily onto the bat.
Well, that's part of it with these modern bats now, which essentially is you lop the branches off a tree trunk.
Absolutely.
At the moment.
Yeah, make a handle and put the log at the end.
That's about it.
That's right.
So you do want to take that pace off.
Yeah. He's having a good year too, Miller. And I reckon he's going to have his work cut out with him with an evergreen batsman and also a dashing right-hander in John Dalton.
And there's the first sort of time we've seen him really open up, but that's a very, very long single.
Yeah. Good shot for what, isn't it? So they've both opened their account with a single.
Well, Miller with a dot ball in the worth the weight in gold in 2020 dot balls.
Yeah. And you never know, maybe until the second team's batted, quite how the pitch is playing and what's a good score.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. Kensington will certainly want to put down as big a score as they possibly can. It looks like Miller's doing well at just crossing it's Mr. Brown now, I think.
Yeah, Dalton.
Old Dalton's back.
Yeah.
He's just keeping him quiet.
Yeah.
So he really managed to free his arms once.
I'm sure they're looking to, being naturally strong stroke players, I'm sure they're trying to dry them up early on and force an error, but as I said, I think they'll definitely have a job to do if they're going to keep these two quiet. But East Torrens are known for their flexible attack as well, so it'll be interesting to see who's going to come on from the other end now.
Well, 3 off the first over, and number 6 is Luke Robbins.
Yeah.
I think Luke Robbins is going to take it. He's pacing out a run up. Like we're going to see a little bit of pace. There is a wind that is basically running diagonally across the pitch as he comes into it. It looks like he's going to go right arm over.
Yeah.
So we may get a little bit of movement away from the batsman.
I think if there's going to be some movement, it'll be now. And look, young Luke Robbins is a swinger of the ball, but he tries to hit the deck hard and tries to get his pace up. But knowing these two batsmen, they're going to prefer this, I can imagine, because they'll like to see the ball coming onto the bat nicely to get most value from their shots.
Yeah, and we went out before, and the pitch it's rock hard at the moment. It's green enough that it's going to stay together. There's not going to get much. There's not much there for the bowlers. He's going to have to hope to get a little bit of movement in the air. Decent length, but goes down leg side, and that's a wide automatically in this form of the game.
Yeah, I think you stray onto the leg side, it's going to be a wide, but it looked like there was, obviously his accuracy was lacking there, but it did see a hint of in-swing there. It might have shaped down leg side, but also think he'll be working up. Funny enough, Jake Brown is the curator at this ground, so he'll know the ground and the pitch pretty well, and he'll know this is their...
Well, that one's lobbed out there, and that is taken... No, it's dropped.
It's dropped.
Catches win matches. And that's the first one. It was tentative from Mr. Dalton. Just dodged a bullet there, you would think.
That's...
Caught between the two, really, wasn't it?
It didn't seem like he was sure of which shot to play there, and it just seemed it might have plugged a little bit in the pitch, maybe a bit too paced. maybe wasn't quite sure with the shot, and maybe the bit of tricks playing early. That's better.
Another good quiet supporting there from Mr. Pinelli, but that one was better and flicked away to the leg side. But again, still long single. Found his length, Mr. Robins.
Yeah, no width, and I think that type of fuller length will be very important to make sure they can't free their arms up.
So leading wicket taker, I was told, at Kensington District Cricket Club. And so what's the art to bowling here?
Look, I think the art to bowling, well, in any pitch or any ground is...
And as we have, that's one way of dealing with it.
Probably, I was going to say straight, and look what happens.
Top of off stump. And there goes our first wicket of the night.
Yeah, that's a big wicket.
Jake Brown will go for not many.
Not many. Surprising. It's not very often you see Jake Brown in with minimal runs, but today is one of those rare occasions.
So Kensington behind the 8 ball initially. We've just had a replay on our screen and just played and missed.
It looks like he's played outside that. He's got an inside edge, and it's hit right on off stump. But again, no width, forcing an error, maybe a shot that wasn't quite there, and he's reaped the rewards of straight bowling.
Well, you know, as you may have worked out from my accent, I am English, and line and length, that's how we were always brought up on cricket.
Yeah.
You can bowl your line and length as much as you want while the War Brothers are smacking you all around, but we did what we could.
Right. That's right. Look, I think in any form, any permutation of cricket, line and length, or at least relevant for the pitch that you're playing on today, a good line and length will be really important. Number 54, Adam Hose, is one of your fellow countrymen from the UK.
So he will go right arm over the wicket, and again a big appeal for LBW. Umpire not really fussed by it.
Maybe going down leg. Seems like he's shaping it in a bit. This is a productive over for Luke Robins. If he can come away with minimal runs and a wicket in the second over of this game, I think they'll be very happy with their start.
By my maths, and I don't want to put a dampener on it, but by my maths, he's on a wicket maiden at the moment.
So that's pretty. It's a.
Well, that is. I think that is a wicket. That is a wicket maiden from him in his first.
That's great.
And his first. Trying desperately to do the scoring as well as talk, and I'm not doing very well at it. But we are 2 overs down and 1 wicket for only 5. That's not the start that Elliot Opie would want.
And I'm sure Elliot Opie urged his players with a 2-0 start to this T20 season to obviously get off to a strong start, set a good standard for the rest of the batters, but have wickets in the shed. And the last thing they would have liked is in the second over to see their longer form skipper in Jake Brown be dismissed.
Well, that's better. That's going to be a single and just dragged down in front of the wicket. It's not a bad cricket shot, but not one we're used to seeing in 2020.
No, I don't. If I can put myself in John's shoes, he might be thinking now he might need to anchor the innings with his teammate out in Jake Brown, because one of them I think will need to bat through if they're going to post a really healthy score. One of these two at least, they're both very capable batsmen, and I think he might think to himself to get himself in and then go large maybe at the end.
Yeah, which is the way we see it done most of the time. He's found the field, so that's a good captaincy. Put the fielders in the right position.
The Reds have played here enough times. They would know. They'd look at the pitch. They'd know this ground, and they'd want to stay with this field until the batsmen have created something outside that they'll change.
First boundary of the day. As that one runs down, good fielding though. He's cut it off.
Yeah, seeing good fielding.
2 runs though.
That gets Adam off to a nice start too.
Lofted. No pitch before there, and I thought that was going to threaten the clubhouse at one point.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of iron roof there that he could have looked at, and I reckon he might have gone a bit too early.
I think he was thinking about it, wasn't he? So Miller again, better, and another dot ball.
If I can indulge for a minute, there is a, just while there's an over break, there is a special gold mug for the batsman that hits the galvanised roof.
Ah.
And it's just called the roof mug.
The roof mug. We will keep an eye out for the roof mug tonight.
And I reckon young Adam was probably eyeing off a cheeky gold mug beer then.
So 3 runs off that over, 1 wicket for 8 runs, 3 overs gone. While we are waiting for this as well, we cannot go unsaid to anybody who's watching this who isn't aware of Kensington Cricket Club. This is Sir Donald Bradman's club.
Absolutely, and it's proudly in gold and illustrated all around the honour boards, and even in the frames and the pictures. Could be an overthrow there. And there's some obviously pioneer cricketers like Clary Grimmett. Sir Don obviously stands out. We've had a really rich history of quality players and cricketers come through the club to play at obviously the highest level in terms of Australia, but also state level and represent the club beautifully too throughout the 140 odd years that we've been existing.
That's a good stop as well from Robins.
Yeah, he's bowling straight, isn't he? He's
wicket to wicket.
Yeah.
And I think when you're looking at a pitch that, I don't want to say dead, I think that's a little bit unfair, but she's hard and she's flat, so there's not much there for the bowlers to work with. So top of off stump is your best bet.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for maybe Luke to change pace. He's probably getting his line and length, but on this type of pitch there will be variations of pace which will be really important. Because as you said, Dave, the pitch will be at its liveliness and it's going to be deteriorating really quickly. So if there's going to be any bounce and any life, it will be now. But from here on, I think change of pace, change of lengths will be really important.
Yeah, and they're starting to push those singles a bit now.
Yeah.
So they are starting to try and get a wriggle on. Just see that the ball's coming away, but again, good field placing from Jake Lehman.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got their square boundaries looked after, and you'll see usually that if the bowler's doing what his captain's required and nice and straight, field placings are pretty easy, aren't they, Dave? When you got the bowler making sure he does the right thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. The leg boundary is the threat at the moment as he just puts that up in front of his face, which is. It's a
very reserved of John. I would say he's probably maybe having a cider, and then maybe it wasn't quite where he wanted because I don't think yet he's convinced that the trueness of this pitch, and he thought maybe if it doesn't get up high enough, that can be a leading edge, an inside edge.
It carried. It ended up about head height.
Yeah.
And that one's just run away down towards third man. And over, 1 wicket for 11, 3 off the over again. It's just under 3 runs an over will be their run rate at the moment, just because of that maiden. Every other over that we've seen has had 3 in it.
Yeah.
It's not T20 run rate at the moment.
No, I think the wickets obviously not helped, and the wickets really helped to slow the run rate straight away for Eastern Reds. But I think it'll be interesting to see now what their mindset is. Are they going to try and work through to this first power play, get themselves steady to make sure they've got wickets in hand? I think they're probably always aiming for around that 150 as just a benchmark.
That one beats the fielder, and they will get another single out of it.
Hasn't T20 evolved though, hasn't it, from its origination in the UK? It's been fantastic to see get it to grassroots level and now seeing great competitions like this.
So question, where on the scale of cricket does T20 sit for you? So if you take into account test matches and one-day internationals, Sheffield Shield, T20, where does T20 sit?
If I can probably, it's a great question, Dave. I'd probably see myself as a cricketer. I see, look, T20 is probably behind Test cricket as a cricketer.
So that one is lifted over on the leg side. There is a fielder out there, and again another long signal.
Good shot for one there. So I still feel the pinnacle as a cricketer would always be Test match. It's got to be behind the purest form of cricket. But as a spectator and now a father of two, looks at the excitement that I see with the kids and being amongst young kids, the excitement and adulation they get when they're watching T20. It's just the fun, it's the event, the exhibition of skills. I love it. If I take myself out of cricketing and look at it as an entertainment spectacle.
So that is over, 1 for 17. 4 overs gone.
Looks like Robins is continuing.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's interesting. And if you talk about at a national level, you could even to a certain extent put it. So the Ashes is the biggest Test series.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. I mean, more people watch that. I mean, what was it? 200,000 people watched the Adelaide Test match.
It's amazing. The records broke. You know, in the third day, fourth day, it was phenomenal. And I think the public still hold that on the mantelpiece. It's a 5-test series. We love to.
Robins delivers and beats the bat again. He's causing them all sorts of issues at the moment. Do we have ends? Which ends is he bowling from? Do we have ends at this oval?
Yeah.
Do we get to name them?
Yeah, let's put the duck pond end.
The duck pond end.
Yeah.
And we'll call this one the Pinelli end.
Yeah. Well, I did have to bowl into the breeze up the hill for a fair bit, so we could call it or the poplar end. We used to say
the poplar end. So the duck pond end and the poplar end. Okay, so
let's
Robins continuing from the duck pond end. That time he has got his arms free. Doesn't beat the fielder.
And they're
going to push for a single, and they will get it. So back to that. The Ashes, obviously, absolutely incredible this year with it being a day-night. The first 2 days sold out at a 50-odd thousand seat stadium.
Yeah, just phenomenal. And being an Adelaidean myself, the vibe around the city leading up to it was just phenomenal. It's when are you going to the Test? And
there we have the first one that's fired away, and he has got his arms free. There's our first 6 of the day, and that was just pulled effortlessly. It's kind of cow cornery, but he had under control.
No, it's in the John Dalton way. I mean, an agricultural shot really doesn't come to the vocabulary when you're speaking about John, but I think he might have probably only got 3/4 of that, to be honest with you. I think we'll see if he can stay in for long enough. We'll see some really solid, clean hitting, but he can time the ball, so even a missed time can go for 6, and
especially on that short boundary. That was flat. That was a flat 6.
Yeah.
I certainly want to see the roof mug taken today.
I think we've got the right people out there to do it up this. If they're setting up the duck pond end.
As that one is just flicked off his feet out square. There is a fielder out there, and they'll just push for one.
Yeah, it was an amazing spectacle. Un-Adelaide weather for the first 2 or 3 days. It was unseasonal, and yet the crowd still came. It just shows the draw and the magnetism of Ashes.
Well, yeah, and a little bit of PTSD as that one is flicked away on the leg side for a single. Little bit of PTSD every single. I just can't get away from Joe Root choosing to bowl.
Yeah,
it does not make sense.
Well, can you put yourself in his mindset? What would have?
No,
no. It's just
I can't because it's Adelaide.
I agree.
Yeah. Robins again. That one will hit through the gap,
Flat
and that one will go for 4. Now Mr. Dalton appears to be getting his self set. That will be over. 1 for 30 after 6 overs. Sorry, after 5 overs, going into the 6th.
Just an example of some consistently the same bowling now. I can see John's probably seeing the same pace, same type of zone, quality cricket like that. They're going to start to pounce on that type of bowling. Luke's done fantastic. He'll now be up to Danny Lee. Danny Lee from the Poplar end. And if we're to be totally correct, that's what we call the Parade, which is the road just behind us, and Kensington Road is the road
I much prefer the
foreground.
Poplar end.
So do I. That is
Poplar end and Duck Pond end.
Yeah, that's Parkinson Oval speak, so let's keep with that.
And do you know what? It's forever ingrained on the internet now.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
It's never going away.
Yeah. I hope all our visitors, especially the bowlers, make sure they make one of the ends their home.
I will bowl from the Duck Pond end to start. Yeah, we can make that happen.
I hope so. Yeah, it's an amazing ground. I know I'm biased, but it's to have this backdrop each second weekend when you play here is pretty amazing. And on a Saturday for the normal forms of cricket, you've got a hive of activity going on. You've got the kids, you've got the barbecues, you've got all the 3 games. It's a festival atmosphere. It's fantastic.
So right arm over, that one's outside, flicked away on the leg side. There's a 1, and they are going to push for 2. They're going to test the fielder's arms. Wicketkeeper just couldn't get hold of it. So 2, Danny Lee's first ball.
Danny Lee's a proven wicket taker in the 2-day format. It's interesting now how he adapts to the T20 tonight. He's usually a swinger of the ball, not heavily endowed with pace, but moves the ball. So maybe on a day where there's not a lot of movement.
I was going to say that one looked like it might be threatening a wide. And our umpire Jeff King, signals it. Our other umpire tonight is Michael Williamson.
Yeah, both quality umpires and both been around the scene for some time now.
Making their TV debuts. They were very excited about
very
it.
Excited.
There's an appeal. Jeff dismisses it.
Yeah, just going back to Joe Root's decision, I think Steve Smith's decision to also not enforce a follow-on was interesting too. I think there was 2 clear decisions that could have changed the game, or at least changed direction.
That one is full and just chopped away. Not the best looking shot, but it might do its job and go for 4. But the fielders managed to get down and get back.
Seems maybe a fraction slow, a little bit slow as it pierces the infield. So a little trick shot like that sometimes doesn't have enough on it.
But Adelaide historically has been big scores.
Yeah.
I mean, the Adelaide Test generally goes to 5 days because you can bat forever on there.
Of course, yeah.
That one again, good length. That will go out and that will be another single. So they're keeping the scoreboard ticking over, but nothing big at the moment. But yeah, I mean, most Test cricket now, well, I mean, unless you're in England and it's swinging an absolute mile, you'll bat first.
Yeah.
So especially with the dropping pitches that aren't doing very much anymore.
Look, and just to have the position of runs on the board.
That one just pulled across. There are fielders there, but they will just tick it over again for another single.
On off stump or outside off stump, creating a shot there onto leg side. That's John Dalton now using his wrist, wonderful wrist player, and he's just starting to work his way into his innings.
If we talk about there's that one again, and that one's a long way outside off stump. He really had to reach for that. But
I wonder if he lost his footing there. Might have been.
He reached a long way for it,
didn't he?
So that's end of over. Just want to talk about traditionalists in cricket. Now, obviously, one of my favourite cricket commentators was Geoffrey Boycott, and I'm just imagining what Geoffrey Boycott would say when a ball is that wide outside off stump and it's flicked to a leg side fielder. But that's what 2020 has brought to us.
Yeah, it definitely has. It's I think the traditionalists won't see the pure shots, but it's all about every ball maybe creating a different outcome. What can you do to, in this such a short format, what can you do to make sure the runs are ticking over? You see most of the time when there's 3 to 4 wickets down, how much it makes an impact. on the score, you know, every ball counts because it's a game of inches. When in 2020, you know, those end balls there and those runs, you know, how many close games do you get now with T20? Because
that one is smacked back. Now that is straightish, more what we're used to seeing.
yeah,
But again, just a long single. Sorry, I'm just trying to see whether we have a bowling change, but I don't think we have. We're still with Luke Robins.
no, this.
Oh no, there's 2 number 6s. That's
correct,
right. This
yes.
is Joel Sides.
That's right. Size is a little bit longer run up, a little bit more. Probably comes on a fraction quicker, and
And that one is just pulled, and the fielder out there. So another lot. Big effort for a single, but again, what we're seeing now is seeing Kensington come into this, is seeing them just start to tick over.
yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting what they'll be saying to themselves in the centre wicket. Is maybe it's up to us to now just to anchor on, don't lose any wickets, but keep everything ticking over, because then we can launch in the back half of this if we've got wickets in the shed. And just sizing up the pitch, I think, just understanding what shots are going to be most effective. And I can see John straight away now, not the perfect of drives, but a flat one along the ground, just the same.
So another single. 3 singles so far, and that's what, yeah, we don't see that traditional straight bat anymore, and that's for the when you've got a day and a half to get your eye in and
Absolutely.
sort yourself out,
Yeah.
you can do it. But these guys have 20 overs to score as many runs as possible, and the kids love it.
Oh, the kids, and the more and more stats we get, because you know it's a game of stats now. If you'd be happy with 100% strike rate in one-day cricket, you're probably happy at 70% in Test match. You need to be around 120 to 150, and if you're averaging 15 to 20, that can be a game breaker at 150% strike rate.
But what it has done is it's brought into Test cricket. It's brought in the ability to put your foot on the accelerator. Because that one is just smashed straight-ish, but straight over the boundary.
Yeah, big on loft and straight into the gums, near the play area. So
It can be as lofted as you like. No one's
No,
catching that.
no
I think
one's
the only
touching
person who got anywhere close to that would have been the koalas up there.
yeah, that's right. That's again the capability of John, just picking it up, dropping it half volley straight over Long On's head.
Yeah, save your legs, young man. There was no point running for that one.
Yeah.
And he's come back. There's a wide ball. He had
Who's that? Maybe
Jose.
Yeah, that was Adam Hose at.
Adam Hose, but he's lovingly referred to, I think, as Jose.
Jose, yes.
He was actually curating the ground today when I first arrived. He's another Englishman.
Yeah.
Plays for Warwickshire.
Yeah, lovely second season now in at Kensington. Loves Australia, loves coming back to the Browns.
So that one is fired and just over the head, and another 4 runs.
Yeah, over square leg. Gallant effort, but a metre over.
One for the cameras, you would think.
Yeah, just you pluck that, you're
You're
doing
a hero.
well. Yeah, absolutely. And that was Jake Lehman trying to do some acrobats, but productive over there. Productive over.
Yeah, well, they kept it ticking over, and I think that's the important thing. 1 for 51, 7 overs gone as we get into the 8th over. So we're nearing that halfway point. Oh, well, there you go. That's big news. We've just been handed news by our producer. He's doing some fantastic work in the background. He says Ashley Giles, he's an English spinner. Just in case.
Yeah, no, left arm. Tall for his age and tall for an off spinner, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Left arm ortho.
Took a lot of stick in an Ashes series. I
Yeah,
think
he
it was
did.
2005. Took a shed load of stick.
Was it the end of his career after 2005?
I think it was. So Daniel Lee again. That one is pushed off the legs.
Oh, just a misfield there.
Just a misfield, but only the 2. Yeah, they gave him a huge amount of stick, and he came back in one of the tests and just annihilated Australia. Anyway, that's my story.
Yes,
Ashley Giles.
yeah.
But Ashley Giles compared Adam Hose, our friend Jose, to a young Kevin Peterson. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. Hopefully we mean by cricket and not personality.
Yeah, from a...
That one's flicked off the legs. That was a chance.
That was just
Has he picked it up late, do you think?
Picked it up late and probably I think had a bit more speed than he thought. I mean, that's come off the meat of the bat. To be turned around at around 45 degrees is an amazing shot. Just his wrist work. I think it's got onto him a bit too quick in the end.
Yeah, that's Joel Size out there. Not the worst for a bowler when another bowler doesn't.
I think there's going to be a glare as they cross the pitch. I think there'll be a glare there. Or at least a reminder at the end of the game.
Well, maybe Daniel Lee will just repay the favour at some point.
yeah.
Well, I lost it in the sun.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, the sun in Adelaide's the other side of him, but we'll. but it's a good.
Never let facts get in the way of a good story.
But yeah, you're right with our friend Adam. I think from ability and skill level, you like to think if he's compared to KP, it's a great honour.
That one again, pulled from offside out to this leg side. Now they're going to push for two. They're going to take on the fielder's arm, and they get there.
Miller, a good fielder. As you can see, one-handed pickup, off balance, still a good throw, but scampering through. They're going to need to turn some ones into twos and keep it ticking over, and I think that's going to be important for them to just keep on edging away to then free themselves up in that last 5 where you can really pile on 10 and over, maybe 8 to 10 and over.
Has he changed where he's coming? Is he coming around the wicket now? Yes. It's that one. Oh, good stop by Lee. I think he has changed to around the wicket at this point.
No, that's no.
Has he always been around the wicket?
No, he's still over the wicket there.
Over the wicket, sorry.
Yeah, still. No, I think he. Has
he always been over?
Yeah, still over.
Well, we are live and interactive, so if you want to tell me I'm getting it wrong, you can. He's beaten the bat. They've appealed for it.
Oh, we can keep
let's go and have a look at hotspot. We don't have that hotspot yet. We'll do what we can. We'll work on it. Next week we'll have hotspot.
Snicker, yeah.
Snicko, or we can do that. Yeah, so if you are watching and you have a question of us, or we say something wrong, then certainly let us know. If you have any fun facts about Kensington Cricket Club, or even East Torrens, then let us know. Someone asking whether Treglowen is playing or not. Let me see what I've done. No,
they're quality all-rounder. He's not out there today. And he's found himself, Treglowen's found himself back in A grade after, I'm not too sure, but I don't think he played A grade. He might have had some injuries prior, or had some other opportunities elsewhere. But I've seen him play now and start his season in A grade, which was great. I know he played the C grade semi-final against Kensington last year, but it looks like he's got himself fit and playing some good A grade cricket for the Reds this year, which is great to see. Good cricketer.
That came from Jacob Fisher, that question. Thank you very much, Jacob, for joining us and being involved. If you are watching, make sure you do share this. Make sure everyone can watch it.
Here's a contest, Dave. We've got Mikey Cramner, quality all-round cricketer, and played years at East Torrens. He's a competitive beast. So when he's bowling, there's going to be something happening. And you've got two aggressive batsmen. This is going to be an interesting contest.
It leads me on to the next talking point. We're talking about aggressive competition. The S word, sledging. That one's full and just nicked off the legs and towards that leg boundary.
It looked like he rolled his fingers across that. Might have started off with, again, he's an intuitive bowler, he's a smart bowler. Mikey's going to exploit some of the things I talked about before in terms of taking the pace off, changing lengths up. Mikey's a great exponent of that, and it'll be a really good contest here for these reasons.
So that one is a better length, not as full.
Sledging, yeah, Dave, look, I think, and I've heard a lot of commentators and people with their opinions talk about sledging. I think it's the level of competitiveness on the field without it going overboard or crossing a line. That is fair game, and that is...
Oh, that's
flicked away.
It is flicked away, and we'll run for 4, but I don't think it was intended to do that.
And there was some anguish there from Crabner too, so could I say that it's close to...
Yeah.
Close to LB or close to the stumps, but...
Yeah, we did hear the bat from where we were, so we did get some willow on it. Yeah. My opinion on sledging is there's a difference. There's a definite line between sledging and abuse and bullying. I mean, I love the kind of sledging. There's a number of them, and that one is fired off towards that boundary. But Taylor will come round and cut it off. There's the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I remember Mark Waugh being involved in something, and he said, Mark Waugh said to somebody, he said something about, like, you're the worst cricketer in the English team, and he said, well, at least I'm better than my brother. That sort of stuff.
Yeah,
it just puts you off. Freddie Flintoff famously saying to one of the West Indians, mind you don't smash the windows in the clubhouse, and then the next thing is he big swing and a miss and he's stumped. That kind of thing where you're getting inside the head, that's fine.
Davey's so right. It's competitive edges. It's competitive edges. It's all about the physical competition as much as the mental competition, isn't it?
Yep.
And if sledging can do that in a fair way, I think that's fair game, Dave.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Jamie. We're going to allow you to go and watch a little bit. We're going to welcome into the commentary position Barry Steele, former club premiership player. Sorry, I'm just trying to read my producers right, and they're not doing very well here at all. Opening bowler and batsman. Jeez, give someone else a go. And still plays at the club at this moment in time. And your son Eddie plays as well. Welcome to the commentary position, Barry. How are you?
Thank you. Very well. Thank you for having me.
So the start is a lot better than it was initially, with 10 overs gone at the moment, but initially Kensington looked a little bit wobbly.
An early wicket.
They've settled down a little bit though now.
East Torrens be keen to get a few wickets here.
Yeah, I've given up trying to keep count and talk. Yeah, it's been a thing. So welcome, Barry. This is
Thank you.
Here we are in beautiful Kensington Oval, and
a warm Tuesday afternoon.
Warm. I'm glad I'm undercover at the moment because I've been out there a couple of times to go and see the pitch and stuff like that. And she's hot out there.
Cool back in England at the moment, Dave?
It is at the moment. It's very, very cold at the moment. It's snowing in England at the moment. I think my mum and dad were saying that it's -7 at the moment over there. So yes, not cricket weather over there at the moment.
No, that's nearly 50 degrees difference, isn't it?
That one's a bit full and just flicked away. Down leg side. No run from it. Looks like Jake Lehman's given himself a bowl. But yes, certainly a day for...
caught down leg side.
There we go. Literally looked away to try and find my water and missed that one.
Dalton departs, caught down the leg side. Terrific piece of bowling and captaincy to bring on Lehman to take a wicket there.
Yeah.
That's what the Torrens boys needed.
So 2 down for 70, and Dalton was the one who was starting to get into his swing and starting to look dangerous, and it's he's let himself down. And just having a watch of that. Yeah, good work from the wicketkeeper. Good footwork moving across. Probably looked like he just tickled the top edge.
He'd be disappointed, but that's cricket, isn't it?
It is cricket. Well, you've still got to set yourself a target for your bowlers to bowl at. And at the moment, 70, 10 overs to go, so double it 140. It's still okay.
It's competitive.
Yeah, it's something to aim at. But an absolutely gorgeous night for cricket. I still really don't understand why you have to play cricket in trousers. Why? It makes no sense.
Have you played, Dave?
I have played, but you know, I could have done with a pair of shorts.
Any grass burns on the knees?
No, actually. But you get them in football. That's what I don't understand. Your winter sport, you play in vest and pants. Your summer sport, you play in jumpers and trousers.
Keeps the sun off and the melanomas away.
Oh, well, that's a very good point. That one's full and just chopped down.
Excellent dot ball. Well bowled. Good execution.
Dot balls are incredibly important in 2020. Any form of cricket, but T20 especially.
Oh.
That one goes down the leg side as well.
Could be a wide.
I'm sure it's by design and not by accident, but he's landing the ball in all sorts of different places.
Well, he's bowling to a 4 on the offside field, so he'll be spearing them into leg stump here.
So Lehman again. That one rolls away and they'll just amble for a single. There's
Another
a straight
dot ball.
bat, but another dot ball.
One more for the wide. Excellent. Great over.
Another dot
Well
ball.
bowled. Wickets and dot balls. Terrific over for East Torrens.
Jacob Fisher saying that Pinelli knocked his middle stump out to the ground in the 3 6 weeks ago. It was 6 weeks ago. He still hasn't recovered. Ruby Edmonds saying the best curators, Scott and Browning.
They do make some terrific pictures, the Brownie and Scotty.
No, I went out there. I've had a look at it tonight. It's absolutely beautiful out there. There's another note from my producer. Jake Lehman is in great form this year with the bat and
The ball.
the ball. Is that what that says? He was even discussed for the Australian Test number 6 spot. Is that true? There you go.
He was making some hundreds just at the right time.
So is he playing Shield cricket as well for South Australia?
South Australia, yes.
Well, I just getting a noise in my ear from my producer. How does that look if you pick your son at number 6?
The rumour was that he was leaving the room if his son was discussed as a potential candidate for the Test spot.
Yeah, because, you know, as a father myself, that's a tough conversation to have, isn't it? Especially because that would be his first baggy green, wouldn't it?
It would be. Are you the sort of father that would promote your son, or would it be extra hard for your son to get a game?
Well, right now I'd promote him. 'Cause, you know, he's 8. I'll take anything I can get. But yeah, look, if he's earned it on his merits, then certainly. I mean, and from that over, and I did see him turn up with a striker's bag as well. So we're expecting to see him in the Big Bash as well. You would
Excellent.
imagine.
Good.
So yeah.
Spots are plenty. The strikers kick off next Friday week.
We talk about. I was actually talking to somebody before.
Oh, well bowled.
That's bowled very
Leading
well. There
edge
was a fair amount of bat, so you can't appeal for LW on that one, young man. Nice try, though. Appeal for anything, bowlers, won't they?
They do, yes. It was well bowled. Lucky to get away with that. Dragged the run rate back a bit here. A couple of good overs here from East Torrens.
Some really good overs. I mean, and that's the thing as well. If you put yourself in the captaincy point of view for 2020, it's spreading your bowlers out over those 20 overs, isn't it? What do they have, 4 overs each?
Yes. But wickets bring dot balls as well, so they're always good.
Oh, he's beaten with the slower ball. And that is over, 2 for 75.
Interesting shot that, taking it from outside off on the sweep from the medium pacer.
Well, we were talking about it before, and we talk about cricket traditionalists, but you've seen that cross bat a lot more now in 2020. We're just pulling it, because if you look at the field setup, what have we got? 2 people on the leg side, everybody else over on the offside. So if you can get it from the offside to the leg side, there are runs there.
Well, if he hits it, that helps. Even if he blocks it back to short cover or mid-off, he'll get a run too.
Not that I ever did anything with cricket, or all of my cricket was in school, but and I know if I'd tried to pull a ball from offside over to leg side, my cricket coach wouldn't have been very happy. But we've changed. The game has changed now.
Lehman bowling again. 5 on the leg. He's got backward point to point, deep cover, deep mid-off. 2 in on the leg and 3 blokes riding the boundary out on the leg side. Sneaks it in on the leg stump and a single to the leg. So we're drying up the boundaries, which is good.
Yeah, the run rate has slowed massively. 7 runs in last 2 overs. Good fielding there.
A little bit of pressure building on the batters here.
One thing I will say as well, I'm not sure whether it's hangover from November. Jake Lehman has some absolutely outstanding facial hair going at the moment. So that one is spunked away on the offside.
He's made very good contact there. Yes, he's got a very signature moustache, hasn't he?
It's almost like a World War II pilot.
Well, gives that some air. Unfortunately, doesn't hit the pitch.
But it's just a signal again. Oh, and he's beat him. We're looking for it. There's an appeal for a stumping.
He's back in. I think he fumbled the ball there. Gave Adam a chance to get back in.
I think Adam's heart rate may have raised a little bit.
Another good over. Run-wise from East Torrens.
So what was your worst way of getting out? What frustrated you the most when you got out? It's the worst way to get out.
I'm not sure. Missing a straight one's never good, is it?
No.
Probably blomping a catch back up to a fielder.
I mean, they're all bad, but there wasn't one that you went, oh.
Oh, it was frustrating to get caught down the leg side if you were leg glancing, but that didn't happen that often, fortunately.
I always feel like, again, not a huge amount of cricket, but stumping always annoyed me. Hated to be stumped. Because generally that means that you've had a big old hoik at it. So another one, and that one is played away out on the offside. There is a fielder there, so it'll just be another single.
Well bowled, well executed. Good stuff.
Good cricket.
Yes. Bowling to his field. He's got 5 on the offside now with 3 riders, extra cover and point in.
He'll come in again. That one is hit straight, but there is a fielder out there.
Very disciplined bowling, East Torrens. They don't bowl many wides. They keep them full and straight, which helps them set a field to it.
So this is Tate Robins. Very similar in style and action and run-up from his brother, and also from the duck pond end. Jamie Pinelli has called this one, that's the duck pond end. And
there you go.
This is poplar end, apparently.
I think Jamie would have bowled a few overs from each end, so he can call them whatever he likes.
Well, he wanted to call this one the Pinelli end because he said this was the one that he had to bowl up the hill and into the wind a lot.
I think he got to choose ends by the end of his career pretty regularly, so.
So Robins will come in again from the duck pond end. Hose facing
leg spinner.
Swing and a miss.
May have been the slower ball out the back of the hand there, and Hose went after it.
He did, and he's beaten them with the slower ball a couple of times, Tate Robins.
I think he was looking to put another one into the playground up there.
He was. Variation on pace is important, I think, when the pitch isn't giving you much.
Mm. Oh. 2 good dot balls in a row.
Well, you did say it was likely to be a battle. And apparently the batsman at the other end is Robbie White, another Englishman. He's borrowed someone's top tonight. I wonder whether he forgot it.
He's borrowed Palmer's top, yes.
What's that one?
Well, he's got one down leg side. He's got some bat on, a little run for 4.
Yeah. Save your legs, young man.
Trickles into the boundary. You want to bowl full and off stump, not down that leg side, unfortunately. That lets the pressure off Kensington.
The leg side and sort of round the back, the outfield's a lot quicker than, I think, just square of the wicket. The grass is it's a bit long, a bit grabby.
Okay.
But everywhere else is okay, but on that leg side, we've seen a couple of times it's just lofted and
hasn't run as quickly.
No, I don't think it would run as quickly, but we are, what are we, 13 overs gone, about to go into the 14th over. The wind appears to have died down a little bit. Fairly decent crowd here as well. Kids playing cricket all over the place as well. Now, we've seen an interesting ebb and flow where now Kensington are just starting to tick over those singles again.
And a boundary there helps relieve some pressure, get some runs flowing again.
Yeah, we see the swings in momentum.
They've done well to dry up the boundaries, East Torrens, and that creates pressure for the Kensington boys.
Almost full again, but straight to a fielder. So
another single. I would think he'd be happy to go for a run and ball. 6 off the over. I think Lehman would be very happy with that. Nicely played, well Well done by Robbie.
Again, lofted, and that one is pulled out to their leg side, but there are field is there.
Is there a little bit of Kevin Peterson about him, Dave?
See whether we see him switch hit.
Okay. Well, that tall right hand, stand and deliver sort of stuff, I think is the... oh, there's a waist high full toss. That might be a no ball.
Wait for a
oh,
signal
no,
from
he's
the
called it
umpire.
underneath the waist. No, he hasn't called it no ball. He said it was below the waist.
So we'll have a look. We'll have a look at him now. I'll pay further attention to Jose and see what he's doing.
Well, that looked a little bit like an English cricket shot, didn't it?
Come on, that hurts. Oh, jeez.
Whack, have that one.
Yeah. But yes, he does have that tall Englishman. And as we get to
Sorry,
see
Dave.
me wipe tears from my eyes.
Sledging's well on alive in the commentary box here for you.
In the commentary box, it's incredible.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Good pressure from Lehman. Top singles, no boundaries. He dried that up well. Another good wicket for him.
Yeah, so he's taken a wicket.
That's
he's taken a couple
two
of
for him now.
Yeah, 2 for him. Just trying to find that the scorecard's not really giving me anything at the moment.
Well, it's the over and a change of bowler here.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
have we got number 7? No, there's still Tate Robins.
Okay.
Still Tate Robins is that one. But yeah, so try and recover from a vicious burn from you, Barry.
All right. Well, and credit to the English. Robbie played a terrific innings in the last game and won the match for Kensington, hitting sixes at the end to get us across the line.
Yeah, I think
he's been in great form since he's come to the club this season. He's been making runs all the time, so he's been terrific.
5 overs to go, 6 wickets in hand.
7
wickets in hand. Sorry, my bad. Maths was never my strong point. Is it time to just let loose the horses? Or are we still going to hold on and just try and keep it ticking over and then really go with 3 to go?
We'll find out shortly, won't we?
If you were coaching, at what point are you saying, let's go?
Well, when you're new into the crease, it helps if you can see the ball, so you want to get your eye in and get a bit of bat on ball to start with. So I'd like to see him just hit a few straight back and get a couple of singles to their outfielders into the gaps, just to give him a chance to pick up the pace of the ball on the line, the bounce of the pitch.
And that's one of the problems with 2020 as well, is that you have no time to get your eye in.
But we've got 5 overs here, and if he can hit the ball nicely, there's plenty of balls to come there. And if you can turn it over with some singles there. 5 overs, that's if a run of ball would get you 60, it would get you 30 runs, and that would get you up to 120. Well, hopefully a couple of boundaries in between there.
So Robins again,
a good ball,
right up in the block
bowled.
hole, and they've pushed the single. No one right at the bowler's end, so could relax a little bit. I'm just trying to see who this 00 is. He's just not doing us a favour and turning his back to us. Robins again, full onto. He's trying to find that, but he's trying to find the Yorker. So it's Mr. Holmes. We're in the 00. Interesting number choice. Do you have numbers?
Is he licensed to thrill?
It's
Daniel Craig or something.
Do you have a number on your shirt?
No.
If you could choose a number, what would it be?
It might be 00 because that might be my batting average. Or shorten down the leg side there.
Nothing down the leg side in T20.
No, very harsh down that way. Definitely a batsman's game there.
Well, T20 is kind of weighted towards the batsman.
It's all for the entertainment, isn't it?
It is. People want to see sixes and boundaries and.
It'd be nice to see a few for our live streamers there.
Yeah, we've had a couple of sixes, a flat one, both on that short boundary. We want to see a roof mug.
2. So what's he bowling to? He's got a long on, mid-wicket, deep square leg, fine leg. So 4 on the leg side with 3 of them out, which gives him 5 on the offside. Deep third man, deep mid off, and 3 in the ring.
That
Bowls
was high.
full. It's a front foot no ball, so it'll be a free hit here.
Well, here we go. Now we can get to see whether he can just free himself up and swing the lumber at it.
Dave, would you think that you'd call no if you heard it was a no ball and face the free hit, or do you still run through for a single and give the other?
I'm all about the team.
Oh, you're a team player. Okay. Just thought you might have said, no, let's not go. I want to hit the free hit, please.
You are assuming that I don't trust my own batting ability at this point.
You'd be very happy and comfortable right up the other end, Dave, as quickly as you could.
Off you go.
Okay.
So
you can change the field for a free
I was
hit
gonna
because
say,
of change
can
of
you?
batsman. So 2 out at long on, mid-wicket.
He's gone
Bowls
short.
He pulls at the mid-square leg and gets no run, so he gets away with that. Good change-up.
Disappointed in it, yeah, because you could see. I was expecting either right up in the block hole or short, and he's 50-50 go with it, isn't it, really? But generally that's what you see with the front foot no ball and they get the free hit afterwards. You either see it slow and jammed into the pitch or right up in the block hole. You don't want the batsman to have anything to do with it.
Oh, that's down leg side, it's been called too.
That's where he wants to be, though. He's very, very full. He's been full all over. The only one we haven't seen has been the free hit ball.
You want to get back into his groove, back on line here, finish off the over well.
Half-hearted appeal, and then everyone stopped, and then the batsman went, hey, we can run on this one.
It is a leg by, there was no bat on it, so. Three for 100 after 17.
Yeah, so
Getting to the pointy end, Lehman to bowl his 4th and finish out, I think.
he hasn't, has he saved, I think, I haven't been keeping count, so I'm just wondering whether he saved Luke Robins any, whether he saved them any overs, and whether there's anybody waiting. Like the strikers used to do, they bowl Sean Tate 2 overs at the beginning and then 2 overs at the end.
Yes.
I wonder whether he's got anybody waiting. Full. It's not going to carry. Fielder comes in, gets it on 1 bounce, and we'll keep him to a single.
He's managed to get away with a couple of full ones, Lehman.
I wonder whether there's enough pace. The batsmen have got to put the pace on it, so he's changed to coming left arm over.
He's still got just the 4 on the leg side at the moment, 3 on the boundary and 1 in at backward square leg. He might have to call 1 across here.
He's brought somebody in to basically where that one almost ended up. I don't know whether he's got a plan.
Oh, he's going down leg side. There'll be a single to a short fine leg.
We have a combination now between a lefty and a righty. So I think he's going to try and change things between each ball. Be interesting to see whether he keeps, I think that's Levi Singh, and whether he keeps him around this area where the ball ended up. So that one is flicked off the legs.
Finds the gap, that'll be 4.
And just flicked off that front foot, and it's creek balls we're hearing from the producer.
Well, that's run down towards the duck pond end, and down along there is a creek, which unfortunately seems to attract a few cricket balls during a game, and when they come out of there, they're usually a little bit wetter and a bit smellier too if you're unlucky enough to find the boundary as a bowler down that way. Which as a batting team is something to strive for, to see if you can put a few balls into the creek. Not always easy to grip. I don't think that one made the creek, but...
Lehman Fuller, driven away on the offside. And again, just the single, but Kensington will be happy that the scorer has to work every ball. That's what they want the scorer to do.
Yes, and that odd boundary would be terrific for them.
Alex Chapman asking about your A-grade semi-final against Adelaide Uni.
Oh, was he? Yes. We lost narrowly in a first innings, and I had the fortune of taking some wickets in the second innings, and we got up and won in the second innings to go through to the grand final and won the grand final. So
Congratulations.
And I had a bit of a go in the second innings and got some wickets. So
excellent work. How many is some?
It's increased from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and as the decades have passed, it's become 6, 7 and 8, I think. I believe somebody told me I got all 12 once. But,
and what's the true story? 12.
Yes, definitely all 12.
All 12. So that is over. And number 4, which is Mike Cranmer. We haven't seen him before. There should be 18 gone for...
18 gone.
No, 17 gone. We're in the 18th. Is
Yes,
that right?
3 overs to come.
3 overs to come.
I think we started at the other end, didn't we? We started down here.
Oh, that's
With
such a
the
long
spinner, I
time
think.
ago. I can hardly remember what I did yesterday. Good
Anyway.
length, but flicked away on the leg side.
Robbie gets
Fielder's out there.
Get 1.
The fielder out there on the leg side. I can't see a number. A young man with long blonde hair who's basically patrolled the boundary over that side for most of the day. He's been one of their most impressive fielders. James Miller, is it?
It might be James. No, I don't think it...
No, number 8. Ryan King. He's patrolled that boundary most of the day. He's fast, got clean hands, and the ball comes back in at a rate of knots.
They've got terrific arms these days, haven't they? To throw flat and hard.
They have, and it's become more of a baseball throw. I think a lot of the cricket coaches went and had a look at what the baseballers were doing over in the major leagues and the difference in their type of throw, because it is very, very flat.
It's a real skill now that they
yeah.
practice hard.
Ruins your elbow, but, you know.
Oh, that's a slower ball, waist high. It's been called by square leg for a no ball.
Misfield, though.
And they'll take 2 with a free hit to come. So, Dave, a short one or a full one? Where are we going here?
Where is it? Oh, I haven't seen enough of this young man to know what he's going to do. That was his first ball, wasn't it? The waist high no ball. He's going to jam it in. Oh, no, he didn't.
A little bit
But it was a
down-legged.
slower ball.
Gets a single there.
Because
A little bit of pad there, so it was a leg by.
raw pace isn't as, especially nowadays, we talked about it very, very quickly with Jamie. The way bats are now, if you've got somebody bowling rapidly, it's an advantage to the batsman as well.
Yes.
Because if they get anything on it, it's gone.
But they hit them a long way too these days.
Yeah, so there's an argument for slower paced bowling, medium paced bowling, which is wicket to wicket, no room for error. I wouldn't want to be a coach and I wouldn't want to be a captain, put it that way. So that one is...
Would you win the toss and bowl or bat, Dave?
I would bat. In Adelaide, it's not even a question, is it? I mean, so like, there's only 2 things certain in life, death and taxes. But there's 3 things certain in life. As that one is flicked away off his legs, and that one will go for 4 runs.
He's a very clean hitter of the ball. He's been in great form this year, Robbie.
3 things in life for certain. Death, taxes, and if you win the toss in Adelaide, you're always back. Adelaide has always been, it's the weather. I mean, it's so hot and dry. You're not going to get very much from a pitch in Adelaide. So that one's right on his toes, but he's managed to dig it out.
Oh, well fielded.
I think if he'd hit it, he was in trouble.
Looked close, didn't it? End of the 17th over. 2 to come.
2 to go. Are we going to see, is that Daniel Lee coming back on? I think it might be Daniel Lee coming back on. So 3 for 121, 2 to go. Yeah, I would say now, both of them have been in long enough to say, right, take the handbrake off, we're off and running now.
Yes, very much so. They'll be looking for some gaps in the field and round the boundary. This is our chance for a ball onto the clubhouse roof for you this over.
Yeah.
It's into the
So if the opposition do it, do they get a mug? That one is high and flicked off the legs.
Get one down to deep square leg. No, is the short answer. The hospitality runs out. Maybe we could have a whip around from the East Torrens viewers and supporters there and see if they're happy to pitch in for them. 5 balls to come here for this bowler. He'd be aiming for 5 Yorkers, I think.
Yeah, I think he was aiming for it and just overcooked the last one, so we got a full toss.
There's still a one run off the ball is a terrific result at this stage.
And that one's pitched nice and full. It's going to work hard. It's not going to get there, and it's just a misfield. And that will go for 4 runs. Mike Cranmer did all the hard work. Just didn't finish it off.
Made a bit of a meal of it. He got good contact with it, the batsman, though, and put it straight down the ground. Found a gap.
Sorry, bro.
Apologies to the bowler as he walked past. Again, he's looked there, and again, he's going to give Cranmer a chance to redeem himself.
Get
this
another
time
chance, yes.
Gets the foot behind it and then fires it in. So just a single.
Cricket's funny like that. You can field for 3 overs and not see the ball, and suddenly you get 2 in a row.
That's one of the difficulties of cricket. Cricket's such a intricate game. I mean, he's been out in front of us, but basically the whole game, and that's the first time we've seen him do anything. So he's been out there for 18 and a half overs, and it's the first time he's touched the ball. Well, he didn't touch it, unfortunately for him.
Lovely throw from King back in there then.
King has been incredibly impressive.
Very athletic man.
Yeah. He hasn't had a ball as he tries to just clear his front leg, and he just chopped it. Now we're going to see King. They're going to push
2.
King's arm.
And they get there. A sneaky miss hit, and they get a couple.
So I'm wondering whether Mr. King will be one of our specialist batsmen.
Or a bit of a Derek Randall, perhaps, just a gun fielder for you.
See, is that a thing nowadays? Oh.
He's got
Wide.
A specialist fielder. Only
Do
if
you
you're
have
an English
specialist
12th
fielders?
man or something.
I mean,
Ricky Ponting said there was a specialist 12th man fielder when he got run out that time. And
Yeah, but the dude was in hospital at that point.
he goes across the stumps and plays the leg again for another single.
I'm trying to remember who it was. It was one of the seam bowlers, Simon something. And Ricky Ponting was irate because he got run out by the substitute fielder, and he was like, well, where's the kid? And like, he was literally in hospital. He was that sore. He was that ill. Anyway, I was a specialist fielder, but that's only because I couldn't bat and I couldn't bowl. That's the only reason I was a specialist
I heard
fielder.
you were best team man.
Well, yeah, it was solid support, one of the best sledges. So who's that again at the other end? James Miller. Oh no, it's not James Miller. Is it James? No. Just trying to see who's bowling, is it? We'll work it out in a minute. That one goes straight again, and it will be cut off. It is Luke Robins.
Good. Well bowled, well executed, nice and full, and good batting. Bat on ball, get up the other end. Don't want dot balls here in the last over. And for the bowling side, happy with $1 or a 1, that's a good result.
The sight screen operators are earning the money as he swaps from over to round the wicket with the left and right hander. Oh, and he's bowled him. Just beat him on the inside.
That's
another wicket.
Nice and straight. He tried to work it too far to leg and swung across the lines, missed that one.
So 4 for 132.
This is the time where you don't worry about getting your eye in.
No, it's just swing and off we go.
So this is Hugh Cranendonk, who that sort of style might suit his game. A swing and off you go. He's an impressively built young man. And if he can get those shoulders through the ball, it could disappear anywhere.
I'm just trying to have a look at the lumber that he's using as well. That's a fair amount. So as a bowler, what's your thoughts on the evolution of the cricket bat to where it is now?
Well, it certainly comes back a lot quicker when they drive it back at you these days. You can be in real danger with that on the follow through. Oh, he stuck it out wide. That's unlucky.
Cranendonk. That is an impressive surname.
Yes. He's a very clean hitter of the ball, strikes it really well and firmly. Doesn't like to get bogged down.
And they're back at the bowler in Robins. Good thought about the Brett Lee, throw it back.
Good dot ball for him. He'd be happy with that after the wide call, which looked a bit tough. Wasn't too wide there. But it's a batter's game.
This game definitely is a batter's game. Well, I think cricket has evolved into, and this is what I was talking about with the bats at the moment. It is that one is right up in the block hole, and Robins has done very well.
Robins bowling very well. Very happy with that.
The ball hasn't changed. You can't rub dirt in it. You can't have your lozenges and smooth it out. You can't get the bottle tops
legally,
on
no,
it.
You can't do any of these things legally.
Can't pick the seam out on it. But basically, the batsman can have jet engineering in their hands, and no one cares about it. That one
last ball
beats the bat.
Two more for the wides. I noticed the girls are playing with the coloured shrink wraps on their bat. I don't know if you've caught up with that. So they've, the Kensington Browns would put a brown wrap on their bat and heat it, and it shrinks over the wood and matches their outfits.
Well, and I mean,
might be all the rage.
I'm assuming it will protect the bat as well to a certain extent. That one goes away to the leg side, out to King. King will cut it off, and it'll just be a single.
That's the last ball.
And that was the last ball. So we are 20 overs gone. I have it as 4 for 133. I'm only worried about that because I think the scoreboard has it 2 for 133, but
4.
It is 4. I thought it was 4. So 133. You're the bowler. Is that something you can bowl at?
Well, it has to be, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but like.
I think East Torrens would be very happy with being at 70 at the halfway mark to have kept them for 133. A couple of wickets helps, but they bowled well and full. A few extras that they're not used to bowling, wides and no balls.
136 we're being told. 4 for 136 is the
there
final score. Our producer's got through some work in this first inning, hasn't he?
He has. He's done very well. It's all happening there with different camera angles and cutting in and out.
So, speaking frankly and candidly, you're the opening bowler of this, and you know that on this pitch, and you've seen what it's done for an innings. 136 required. How do you feel about it?
I think Kensington would feel reasonably confident at that stage. I think they'd feel that they've done a reasonable job to get to that score. T20 is that sort of a game where one person can get away, and that could be easy pickings, especially with Lehman in the side. But the Kensington boys are 2-0, and unfortunately East Torrens are 0-2, so I'm tending to pick with the favourites to continue to put the squeeze on them.
Well, that is a thing, and I'm going to throw one of my friends under the bus. A friend of mine, a young man called Joe Aguirre, he likes to try and wind me up, and he asked me after day one of the first Ashes test, and he said to me, he said, "Oh, look, Australia are miles ahead, aren't they?" And I was like, "We haven't, it was day one of the first test, like, you can't say that." And at this moment, like, you can't look at this and go, yes, that's a good score, or no, it's not, because we don't know where we're going to go from now. I mean, with all, we could have Jake Lehman come out and just swing the lumber and knock this over in 3 overs.
He could. Yes, he's a very good player, and
you know, and if he hits anything like his dad, then you know we might have to have a whip round and get him a mug.
Kensington will be playing without Lloyd Pope, who's their leading wicket taker in this form of the cricket. He's away in the under-19 state championship, so they'll have to find some other bowlers to fill some spots there as well.
So you see on the screens the diamond sponsors of Kensington District Cricket Club. I was just saying that. Is Miles Lyndon Pope, is that?
And associates, there they are, good sponsors of the Kensington Cricket Club.
Is he related to the young man who's away?
Yes,
Pope,
that's his father, and they've been good supporters of Kensington for many years.
There you go.
Northline Freights, leading edge physiotherapy, doing a great job with the boys, keeping them on the park.
And we have, I think we have some of the Kensington bowlers are out and warming up at the moment. And we also have Jamie Pavelli is out there with a group of kids. And I think there's a little competition going on with these kids. Is it nearest the stump?
It looks like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're just going to go nearest the stump, so they're having a little competition. Jamie is the judge.
Like a lawn bowls competition for you.
It is.
Okay.
Well,
thank you for having me. I'm going to vacate the seat and bring in Anthony McDonald, Cheesy, who's a former club player, great of the club. Right medium pace outswing bowler and opening batsman for us as well. And saved my bacon many of times.
What's Kensington got in the water where all of you are opening bowlers and opening batsmen?
Like I think I did it once, and then they had to get other ones in, so that's why everybody else does it and I don't.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Barry. You enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and fingers crossed for Kensington for you. And we will get Anthony Cheese McDonald to sit down next to us, and I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of this Cheese nickname at some point. Oh, we've got the gold sponsors as well. The Kenzie, is that a pub? I'm assuming that's a pub. Zarella Wines, the Cricket Warehouse, which is, I love the Cricket Warehouse. I keep saying that I'm not a cricketer, but I do enjoy going into sports shops and just looking at the stuff. The Cricket Warehouse has everything you would need. And Parkinson Marketing, Jamie Parkinson Marketing. Or Sam?
Sam.
Jeez, the writing's nearly as bad as it. So cheese, where does that come from?
That's a long story, not a particularly interesting one either. But,
well, make it interesting.
It goes back a long, long time, and to a under 17 strip, I think it was, where I spent most of my spare time trying to track down McDonald's outlets in Hobart, of which there were only 2 at the time, and partaking in my favourite food, which was cheeseburgers. And one of the guys in the team was a Kensington teammate of mine. He came home calling me cheesy, and took off, and I didn't think it would last long, but it did.
Simple as that.
Yeah, it lasted 20 years, which is nice.
And bowling coach at the moment for this side, or?
No, so I was bowling coach for seasons 12, 13. I think it was when I came back for 3 years, up until the season before last, which was a lot of fun and a very rewarding thing to do. And lots of the guys that I worked with are playing here today, which is great to see. And yeah, the Browns always strong, always got a lot of depth and a lot of talent coming through. So it was great fun to work with them. And
so you've seen what the pitch is doing for the first 20 overs, and you saw what was successful and what wasn't. And what would your advice be to the opening bowlers?
It's interesting with the pitch square here. A little bit of local knowledge, if you can just see a slight slant on the ground here, not Lord's style, but there's definitely a bias towards the club room. And what we've always noticed is that the water runs to this end of the square, so these pitches on the right always have the most life. These ones, the ones in the middle, are perfect for batting on, and the ones at the very end can be dead. The ball can hold up. It can be tricky for bowlers and for batters really, but 2020 cricket, I guess it's all about just trying to hit the top of off stump, isn't it?
Yep.
And, trying to vary your pace. And then there's the full Yorkers and the it's just about attacking the stumps. But if you want to bowl that length where the batsman can get underneath you and think he's a chance to do that, well, the ball holds up and that gives you a chance for some wickets. So it's a bad bowling
we
strike.
saw that with Jake Lehman, and Jake Lehman took a couple of wickets, and it's almost like he was tempting them into playing shots to try and get going, and the pace just wasn't there. But it looks like we're going to have Mike Cranmer and Jake Lehman to start us off.
Well, this could be interesting. As we know, Jake, very, very accomplished and entertaining cricketer, and he's taken us down in a couple of limited overs fixtures over the years. I remember a semi-final, one-day semi-final 2 or 3 years ago where made a big 100, very, very good 100 out at Campbelltown, and he's in the form of his life, the prime of his career, so Kenzie would be wanting to get rid of him pretty early, and East Torrens and probably everyone else who's here watching would be keen for him to get amongst it and make a few runs and entertain us all.
So it will be Jake Lehman, lefty. It's going to start us off, and we will have
Looks like David Grant.
David Grant bowling from the duck pond end.
So Grant is a new addition to the striker squad for this season for the first time. So up and coming, very, very talented young bowler. Played a handful of Shield games. I think he played the last Shield game actually.
I think he's coming off the longest run we've seen today. And here we go for the first ball of this second innings. That one goes down leg side, and we'll go all the way for 4 wides, I would suggest. That is not the start you would want to see, even as
That's right.
as a bowling coach.
Just giving him a rap and.
Yeah. Commentator's curse. Is that your first? Is that your first go at the commentator's curse?
That's it. Yeah, I won't be.
You get
I won't be
used to
doing
it.
that to him again.
You get used to it. It's fine. So.
Hard to set a field to that kind of bowling, I guess. Isn't it?
Well, yes. I mean, the only one who was anywhere near it was our director. So take 2. One's a bit full. There is a fielder out there. They'll be happy with one.
Hugh Cranendonk sweeping on the boundary down there.
That
Still yet to land one.
That is a great surname. Is he nickname-wise? Has he got any other than Donk?
He's got a whole bunch.
I'm sure he has.
Yeah,
Any
some which
safe for
some
work?
which he's keener on than others. The boys call him Cranen Snoof. It's more to do with his personality than his name, I think.
So Grant again from the duck pond end. Again, he makes his wicket keeper work. Is it a fair amount of pace?
Yeah, his pace has really, really improved in the last 12 to 18 months, Granny. Really getting him through in the high 130s these days with pretty much an effortless kind of action, which is great to see and very difficult to face, I'd imagine. False start.
Apparently he broke his nose fielding 3 weeks ago. So
David did.
that's what I've been told.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. He's done a bit of that before. I remember.
And again, we'll beat the fielder. I don't know whether it's going to make its way to the boundary. It could be close to running for though.
Game against our rival Sturt a couple of years ago where Granny went to field a ball on the boundary line and face planted the fence, cut his face open, and unfortunately for, well, cricket in general, I was forced to throw his whites on and go out and field for a session.
The one thing that can be said for everybody involved in cricket, most of the time we are incredibly modest, aren't we? Oh, I think he's got bat on that. It'll be interesting to see what the umpire signals. Yeah, he has got a bit of bat on that.
Turning into quite an expensive first over.
Yeah.
Defending 136. Probably not the start the Browns were after.
No. Well, he's going to give us more time to talk because this is one hell of a long run up. Again, that one is banked away on the offside, and I was going to say don't bother running, but he's gone all the way anyway. Now, this is what we were worried about. This is what I was talking to Barry about. When you've got somebody, well, you were asking whether 135 was a big enough score, and it would have been, but geez, they've started off well, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's a big enough score if you defend it well, I guess, isn't it? Anything's defendable, but they certainly would have preferred more. I thought the Browns didn't show an enormous amount of anxiety, particularly through the middle of their innings, and losing early wickets. And
that's an interesting one. It's heading down towards us. Another 4.
So losing early wicket always leads to trying to consolidate and keep some wickets in the sheds. The Browns never really got going. They should be able to defend this though, but yeah, not an ideal start.
But it's and that's the biggest difference between the way that Kensington started and the East Torrens have started has been boundaries. And just a reminder, we are live and interactive. We do have Cheesy McDonald next to me. I do love that nickname. In comes Grant again. Again, pitches it right the way up, and that's just pushed away on the offside, and
he's got it.
He's got it there. And just the 2. Well, that's good on that short boundary, but that's what we talked about on that boundary side. The outfield just seems a little bit sticky. So, yes, it's a short boundary, but if you're on your toes fielding wise, you can cut them down.
You can. It's never been a fast outfield here. It's in fantastic nick compared to what we've seen at certain times over the years that Burnside Rugby Club play here, and they do a hell of a lot of damage to the pitch square in particular, but the surface, and often it takes until Christmas to really start to come into its own and smooth out and look like it does now. This year I noticed it came good really quickly. It was looking an absolute picture, and looks great. But never a fast outfield, but that kind of evens itself out because it's not a big ground.
That's exactly right. But if you have any questions for Anthony, send them through. We are live and interactive. Love to hear from you. So that one is also fired away, but straight to a fielder. Throw comes back in right over the top of the stumps.
Nick Palmer here from the other end. Nick's a young, up-and-coming all-rounder for the Browns. Bats well, and predominantly a bowler.
Well, he's coming off a 9 for in the B grades last game.
Is that right?
9 wickets.
There you go.
That one's going to beat the fielder and go for 4. These boundaries are going to start worrying the Kensington captain and coach at this point, you would think.
This could be the shortest commentary stint in the history of cricket.
Well, they've both got their eye in now.
And these are their 2 best players, I'd reckon. Mikey, very accomplished, experienced, great cricketer, and Lehman's record speaks for itself. So Kenzie will be really keen to get rid of these 2 and get into the middle of their order, I think.
That one has just run away. Fielder there, so they'll just keep it ticking over. Bring Mr. Lehman back on strike. Yeah, so we were talking about Jake Lehman, who's he had his striker's bag with him today, so we expect to see him in the BBL this year.
Absolutely. There'd be a walk-up start now, I'd reckon. Spent a couple of years sort of in and around the fringes, in and out of the side a bit. But I think with his one-day performance in the JLT, I think it was called, and his first 5 rounds of the Shield season, Jake could be a walk-up start and good player to watch when he gets going.
I don't think he'll be too far away from an Australian berth either. Not the prettiest shot in the world, but it got the job done.
Another boundary. How many boundaries is that now?
I haven't been keeping count,
Lots.
but I would go as far to say it's more than Kensington's whole innings, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because while Kensington kept the scoreboard ticking over, boundaries-wise, there was a flat 6. So that one is up in a block hole and just punched away to the offside.
That's
No run there. There was a lofted one towards the children's playground. And then other than that,
there were 2.
there was
Adam Hose hit a massive 6 up to the tree. Up there.
that's that
Johnny Dalton
big
hit a flat
one. There was a flat one over there.
Yeah.
There was the misfield down here. And other than that, I'm struggling to remember any. Oh, there was the one that went to the creek. So that's 4.
One of the idiosyncrasies of this wonderful cricket ground is the creek. You don't want to be playing here as a opening bowler on a day where you've had some rain and get hit through mid-off, because you can be presented with a pretty sloppy, soggy ball to continue bowling with, which is never good.
No.
Wouldn't be any water in there now, I reckon.
There's no leeway on that? I mean, you can't go... I suppose Burnside Council wouldn't allow you to go and put a net over it or anything, would they?
We've toyed with things over the years. Once upon a time we had a little white plastic fence set up across there that the players used to set up in the morning of the game. And it didn't seem to last long. I'm not sure it did too much. It's just a matter of if it happens, and it doesn't happen as often as you'd probably think. Wiping the ball down, showing it to the umpire in the hope that he might let you swap it over, and then having it thrown back to you.
Yeah. I think we started with this with Barry, and it's interesting. As a bowler, we've talked about, if you look at the evolution of cricket, everything has evolved around cricket. So we have a change of bowler, and he comes in and dot ball, which geez, they've been a rare breed for Kensington in this
Good
second
start
innings.
from the skipper, Jake Brown.
So Jake Brown from the duck pond end. So the evolution cricket, we've seen improvements in pads, batting pads, batting gloves, batting helmets. Everything's lighter, more comfortable now. Obviously the evolution of the bat is incredible from what it was even 10 years ago. So he comes in again, and that one is put away on the offside, but
Huey Cranendonk.
From the donk. That's why I'm going to go with the donk.
That'll do.
Got down well for a big man. But nothing has changed with the ball. Still 4-piece, red leather, seam, nothing has changed.
The only thing that's changed with the ball is you're not allowed to bowl enough bounces with it, and it doesn't have to be hit as far because they've roped in all the boundaries these days. So everything, as you say, in the evolution of cricket has gone towards making life easy for the batsman.
So I'm going to give you carte blanche. Reins are off. So we come in again from the duck pond end. Nice length, but that is just spanked away by Jake Lehman through that cover gap. And 4 more runs halfway. The kids go running after it. Well, at least that might rough it up a little bit for him. Right, carte blanche. Do whatever you want. You can make any change for the bowlers that you can. What are you going to do?
Well, I'd remove the bouncer restrictions for starters. Not that I think there's plenty of short. I mean, we've seen in the Ashes series this year, there's plenty of short bowling, and it's become a real tactic these days to actually set fields for it, bowl around the wicket, set fields for short bowling, and just pepper the batsman. But it's a huge advantage that a batter knows that if he's had 2 balls around his chin in an over, he knows he's not getting another one, and that takes the uncertainty of facing a fast bowler out of the game a little bit. So I'd take that away and I'd give the bowlers free rein. And you're not allowed to. There's restrictions on intimidatory bowling and all that kind of stuff, but taking the unknown out of what's coming down your way next, I think is a huge disadvantage for particularly for a really fast bowler who uses that as his main weapon.
Another full one, smashed through the covers for 4, this time by Mike Cranmer. What about having a ball that's designed to swing?
Like the old two-piecer?
Like a two-piecer or something with a little bit of... It's already rough as that one is. High but safe. Couple of bounces and that will go for 4 as well.
A two-piecer would be interesting. That would present issues in itself for bowlers in that they're pretty hard to control from memory. But yeah, why not? Why not make it more interesting? And I think long term that's going to benefit batsmen and batting in general in this country, because I think pitches are flatter, bats are better, and all those things you mentioned. So that batsmen, first-class batsmen, international batsmen in this country, when they find themselves in situations where the ball is doing plenty, they're always found wanting. And everyone I talk to about cricket says Aussies can't play the swinging ball these days.
No, they can't, which, you know, is the one positive that I have as an Englishman, is that when your mob comes over to England now, it's not as, you know, the Australians used to come over and they used to sort of flick on the TV and go, oh, the Australians are here. Oh, well, I won't even bother. This will be over in 2.5 days. And it won't be fun to watch. But now, certainly with the bowlers that we've got in England and the amount that the ball moves around, so we start again, and that one's in there, and again it's spanked towards cover, but dealt with well. Yeah, and I think it started a couple of years ago, and Shane Watson could do no wrong when he played in Australia, but as soon as he went over to England, he just looked amateurish at times.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys into that category. I mean, even Dave Warner, who does whatever he likes here in Australia in Test cricket and makes hundreds in a session, and he's found life a lot more difficult abroad, particularly in the UK, I think. So the more we can do at this level and Shield level to expose young batsmen to moving ball and seaming pitches, from a long-sighted point of view, the better it's going to be for Australian cricket.
So are you saying that they heard a lot about the pink ball? Does that move around more?
I've got a theory that it's more about the pitch they prepare for the ball than the ball itself. They were took them a long time to get the ball right, and when the first day-night test here in Adelaide a couple of years ago, they were so worried about the ball not lasting the distance that they left 8 mil of grass on the pitch and the dot ball there.
It was, and it's right up in the block hole. And
so the pitch was prepared to protect the ball, and as a result of that, the ball seamed around and did plenty and swung, and batting was difficult. So they've taken more grass off. They're starting to get the pitch right and the ball right. It's getting closer together. The pitches were harder this year, but
again,
still, I think
up in the block hole and just dug out.
There's a lot made of the colour of the ball and batting under lights. For me, it's more about the pitch they prepare for the pink ball tests than the colour of the ball itself.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Perth is the next test match, the first one at this brand new Perth Stadium. Apparently they'll go back to the WACA in
I think
years to come.
This test this week is actually at the WACA.
I thought they were doing the new Perth Stadium for this one.
That's the one-day game that we're playing in, I don't know, January, I think it is. So this is at the WACA, and this is going to be the last Ashes test played at the WACA. And the word is that going forward, test matches against probably lesser countries, for want of a better term, will be played at the WACA, but the big, high-selling, high-profile tests, in particular the Ashes, will be played at this new place forever, which looks amazing actually. Now what the surface is going to be like, what the pitch is going to be like, and whether it shares the WACA's characteristics, who knows?
Well, it's the new one is going to have to be a drop-in.
Yeah.
because the West Coast Eagles and the Fremantle Dockers will play there, so
That's
it'll have to be a drop-in. But even now, apparently, the Wacker bounce has gone.
Yeah, well, it's over the last 3 or 4 years, it's don't know what happened to it. I'm no.
Oh,
catch.
I think he's done well to stop it.
Yeah, save 4.
We'll give him that. Jeez, that was flying at Jose. He's not happy, but
I think Elliott will take the dot ball at this stage.
that came at him at a rate of knots. He did well to get something behind it.
He did, yeah.
So here we come again. Again, up in the block hole,
Slow
just
ball, yeah.
opened itself up, got that front foot out of the way and has just gone directly
Oh, well
towards the
fielded
creek.
by the guy on the boundary.
Yeah, stopping it getting wet.
Yeah, he didn't fancy going in the creek.
No, one-handed, didn't even get up from his chair. Just opened himself up. This is Mike Cranmer, who misfielded it down in front of us, and I think he's got a point to prove at the moment.
Yeah, the Browns have won a wicket or two here, I'd reckon, just to slow the run rate. A couple of new batters in.
It ain't over till it's over.
True.
And little collapse wouldn't go amiss right now. So that one comes in, again full.
Who we got out there? Sammy, Huey Cranendonk.
The donk throws it in.
Donk. Fielding well today, Huey.
So somebody's, Tim Wobbles says the bowling machine has been set up for half volleys tonight. And it does feel that a little bit. The length is just not right at the moment.
Perhaps they're stuck in between, 2 lengths between that Yorker length and really hitting the track. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of short balls banged in, just mix things up a bit, see if they want to go back and play cross bat shots against them. But yeah, you're right. Just that length where you can just get underneath them and.
That one gets through a gap. There's a chase there.
Sammy Williams down there.
Well, the pitch is rock solid. It's like concrete, so it's going to get up there. It's not going to be held up if you do decide to bowl short.
Yeah, that's true. As I was saying before, that side of the pitch square, the pitches are slower and more lifeless. You really got to bang it in, but
the pace
that can even work in your favour. Short balls that come off the pitch slowly in limited overs cricket, it can be hard to score off. And I think it's time for something.
The pace of Grant would suggest there's just a little shovel shot down towards us.
Yeah, that's very clever.
Justin Lehman just knows where the fielders aren't. Sends it away for 4 runs. He's certainly taken this game by the scruff of the neck.
Seems to be enjoying himself, doesn't he?
Well, multiple wickets in the first innings.
Good warm-up for him. I think the Strikers' first game is next Friday, I think, here at home at Adelaide Oval.
I've got someone I can ask. Adelaide Oval is a fantastic place to watch cricket anymore. Thursday, December the 21st. Hobart Hurricanes, Blundstone Arena. That's what the first one is, I think. See whether we can find a better list.
Am I reading that right? They're playing in Hobart on the Thursday and in Adelaide the following day?
It's very baseball, isn't it? As another one beats the first fielder. And OP will fire it into the bowler's end. Saturday, December the 16th, Gliderall Stadium. The Rebels will take on the Strikers.
Is that the women's or the men's?
Well, that must be the women's. Well, it says Strikers. I know, that's WBL, there you go. Friday, December the 22nd. Strikers take on Thunder. And then they are away in Sydney.
Yeah, there you go. Next Friday, that'll be a big crowd. It's a great place to watch.
Oh, fantastic.
Any sport, Test cricket,
And New Year's
Aussie
Eve.
rules footy, and Big Bash is huge down there. Massively well attended.
That one is high and just spanked away. Now that's close to seen no signal, just a no ball.
So that's a no ball
Well,
and a 4. Is that a free hit?
it's, I think, don't know whether it's a free hit or not, but just the 4, because I thought that was very, very close to going for a 6.
Yeah, the flattest 6 ever. There you go. Is that the signal for free hit?
Free hit. That is the one. That's the point that all the fireworks would go off if we were at Adelaide Oval. There's your first short one, and just flat bat smacked it away over on that leg side, and that will dribble away for 4 over the head of Williams. Is that out there?
That's Jake Brown, the skipper.
Jake Brown.
He'll be pleased.
Inauspicious start to this.
Yeah, it's getting ugly now, isn't it? Halfway there in terms of their run chase.
Welcome to how I've felt over the last month.
What are your thoughts about the Perth Test? Any chance?
No, none whatsoever.
None at all.
None at all. We're not good enough at the moment.
So tell me this: why was it the series so supposedly evenly matched before it started? What's gone wrong?
I think there's been a number of issues. I think Ben Stokes not being here is one of them.
Yep.
And that one is just pushed forward of the wicket, and it's just a single. I think part of it as well is that I love Kevin Peterson as a player. I thought he was fantastic. I think now that he's a pundit, he does nothing but hurt us. Every single decision that is made is questioned by him, and
That's
all
true,
of that
yeah,
stuff. And I think he unsettles us at times. And we're a young side as well. And we don't, you know, if you look back at the Ashes series that we've won, that one is another half
that's
volley,
right
and
in the
that's
slot
just
for him.
pulled
Big six.
away, and there is nobody who's going to catch that one. In fact, the closest fielder to it is a German Shepherd. So that one, yeah. Yeah, just not good enough at the moment. I mean, look, when you start a series, then, you know, you don't really know.
True, that's true. It was very unknown from both sides, really. Had the Aussies picked the right team, had the Poms picked the right team, who was going to perform, who wasn't. It was really hard to pick.
I was incredibly disappointed. I thought we were going to go into Perth 1-1 because I thought that the English bowlers under lights with the pink ball, all of that stuff would cause the Aussies issues, because we talked about how they can't deal with the ball moving around, and I thought, and when I woke up on that first day on that, what was it? Was it the Saturday we started on? And it was overcast and it was windy. I was like, this is like an English summer. This is advantage England.
So do you
And
think
then
that's
Joe
what Joe
Root
Root
goes
thought?
and probably, but I mean, those people who didn't learn from Ricky Ponting bowling first and then
Yeah.
just basically being slayed for it for years.
And I think Nasser Hussain did that out here one year.
You can't, yeah.
Up at Brisbane, put the Aussies in.
When you're in Adelaide, bat first.
Just bat. I don't think it matters where you are, really. Just bat.
Well, nowadays, yes.
Yeah.
In Australia, I mean, I'm assuming as well that at some point, like if you're in India and the pitch is an absolute pumpkin patch, then you might want to bowl first.
Yeah, open up with your spinners.
But, you know, I did see some wonderful stuff on Facebook when they went over to India, like, the day one pitch, just ploughed
It was
fields.
unbelievable, wasn't it? I've never seen anything like it, really. But at the end of the day, those test matches were, in their own way, quite interesting, but just hard for us to get accustomed to spinners opening the bowling in Test cricket, and have the Indians gone too far in just preparing pitches for their own benefit. And,
I mean, it's both teams have to bat on it, don't they? You know, so whatever it is for you, it's exactly the same. I had that very long argument when the Ashes and everyone accused the English of setting up the pitch to destroy the Aussie batsmen because it was going through the top. I was like, well, we don't change the pitch when we bat. We're doing all right.
Yeah.
So they've gone to some spin, but again, Lehman just looks like he's in now. Both of them do, Lehman and Cranmer.
I think they've been in since probably halfway through the second over. What are we? None for 82. So this is Charlie Holmes. Charlie's interesting. He bowls seam up and finger spin. Obviously no use for his seam up, according to Brownie this afternoon.
It's a sort of inside out straight drive.
Another boundary.
Crick ball. We got our first one of the day. That one's definitely wet. Just the spinner to go and ruin
Shouldn't be any water in there now. Would there be any water in there now, Chappie?
Well, there's a bit of rain last week, wasn't there?
You wiping it? No.
So we're going to be joined by Grant Chapman, the club president, and your son Alex also plays at the club. So, Grant, how are you feeling as president of the club and where we sat right now?
Not very comfortably. I think we were probably about 25 or 30 runs short with our innings, and given the total we made, we would have had to bowl very well to needed early wickets to put some pressure on, and we just haven't succeeded in doing that. And now we've got Cranmer and Lehman looking pretty well set and playing some good shots all around the ground.
So that one is swept away square. The donk will pick it up and fire it back in.
I think the donk's been best on ground this afternoon. The fielding effort.
Fielding wise, yeah. Well, while you're here, Mr. Chapman, your best players for Kensington so far?
Tonight?
Yes.
I would have thought White batted very well for the time he was there, and Adam Hose also did a good job.
Just got out trying to push too much, I think, Jose.
Yes, it would have been good to see Adam there a little bit longer, and Whitey there for the last, the whole of the last over might have been a bit different.
It was just as we started to talk Hose up and compare him to a young Kevin Peterson that I think he played a little bit of a rash shot, but...
yes, I actually missed the dismissal. I was watching training over on the other nets and had my back turned to the game at the time.
So here we go, John Dalton. So you know you're clutching at straws, perhaps, Chappie, if Johnny Dalton's getting a bowl. Is that unfair?
Johnny Dalton bowled very well last year in his first state game.
That's right, down in Hobart.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So you never know with John Dalton.
He made a fool of me. I remember putting a comment on Facebook about Sheffield Shield being some sort of Mickey Mouse comp if this guy's getting a bowl, and actually rolled him out pretty well in the end.
We had the half volley and a one bounce four and some excellent fielding in the
good
deep from that young man down there by the canteen.
I think he actually bowled in first class cricket before he bowled for Kensington.
Well, you see, this is the thing, isn't it? That I mean, okay, not so much you gentlemen, because this is a pretty decent level of cricket. We always say, like, oh look, Steve Smith is bowling in a Test match. You know, I guarantee if I faced Steve Smith in the nets, I couldn't do anything.
Well, of course, Steve Smith started his
he was supposed to be the new Shane.
As a bowler.
He was supposed to be the new Shane Warne, wasn't he, Steve
A bowler
Smith?
who batted, although he did have an average. I think his first class average was 60 when he came into the Test start as a batsman, but he actually came in primarily as a bowler when he first played. So
Jake Lehman
he's reasonably tidy. I actually think he should bowl himself a bit more in the Test team.
Jake Lehman again, just scooping it down the leg side. It's been a favourite position of his today.
Yeah, he uses the crease really well, picks up the line of the ball and positions himself.
There's a fielder down there now and he still beat him. So, yes, he's been solid, been very impressive in this inning. So Dalton will continue. And that one, don't even bother.
That's a big hit.
That's the 100 up.
Yeah, I thought when we came out to bowl, I thought when we were batting, the wicket looked a touch slow, but East Torrens have shown us anything but slow.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was talking to Elliot Opie before the game as well, and we both agreed that it's a batsman's wicket. So I think we were a little surprised when we started this game out just how slow the scoring was for Kensington.
Wickets in hand in limited overs cricket really dictate the scoring rate, though, don't they? If you lose an early wicket, got to consolidate straight away. If you're none for heaps, gives you that freedom to just open up and play freely and just try and score heavily.
So 34 to go. That one is smacked straight down towards Brown. Just the single, so I'm going to try and keep hold of this one. So that's 33 required off a fair few balls. So I mean, it would be a incredible collapse from here, you would think.
We need a big breakthrough.
Funny game, cricket, though, isn't it?
It certainly is. Josh Pike asking, is this Kensington's A grade? That's a fair question tonight, you would think, but yes, this is your A grade, isn't it?
Who is this Josh Pike?
Who is this Josh Pike? Well, yes, this is the SACA A grade 2020 competition, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So Dalton will continue. Now he's facing Cranmer. Dunk getting through some work in the field again. He's had to work hard tonight.
None for 104. So Dave, just going back to the Ashes quickly.
You can't leave it alone, can you?
Bored of this? Is there any chance?
Probably not.
That England can at least eke out a draw so that when I wake up on Boxing Day, my Boxing Day is not ruined by the Ashes already being over, like it has been twice in the last 10 years.
Eking out a draw.
Just something.
In Perth. Well, you have to hope that it rains for 5 days and we might get one. That one is spanked away towards the creek again. Lady with the dog does her best to keep it out of the creek, but I think it's been a misfield. She's going to send the youngster after it.
This is an enormous amount of boundaries. Have we got any stats?
No, we haven't at the moment.
Buck Rogers will be able to send them through to us if he's listening. Kensington's legendary scorer. Buck and I made our A-grade debuts in the same game. Chappie, 1994. Yep. Still doing it.
Still doing it. Yep. He's been a great servant of the club.
He certainly has, amongst other things.
Awarded life membership last year for services rendered, which was it's a great honour at the Kensington Club to have life membership, and Buck certainly earned it.
So, how much, when you get players come from overseas, as that one is up in a block hole and a dot ball, clap comes from the crowd, dot ball, which we haven't seen for a while. When the English players come across, are they aware before they get here that Sir Donald was here? As that one is lifted very, very high. There's a fielder working underneath it.
Got him.
Got him.
Great catch.
So the collapse is on.
David Grant.
Grant
there at long off.
I think the runners will have crossed, so Lehman will get the strike.
All right, here we go. One brings two.
This is it. It's on now.
Yep. Yep.
Rally Monkey is coming alive, and how happy was Mr. Grant about it?
Into the tail now too.
Are the English players, are they aware of the history of the club and that Sir Donald Bradman played here before they get here, or is that a nice surprise when they get here?
I think it's a question I can't answer, to be honest.
You could probably answer that.
I'm not sure whether Adam.
Well, I really
Adam was aware. I suspect Adam Hose would have been aware because he played. He played a season with T20 Gully several seasons ago, so he would have been aware of Kensington and Kensington history as an opponent at that point. So
and Robbie would have been aware because he played Elliot played with him in his club in England. So he would have worded him up on the whole thing.
My background is rugby, so I've been here when the other mob have been here more than I've been here for the cricket. And I actually remember the first time I found out that this was Sir Donald Bradman's home pitch. I was like, Why on earth are we playing rugby on it?
Well, I do need to correct you there. It's not his home pitch. It's his home. It was his club. But when Sir Donald played, Kensington's home ground was what was the old Kensington Oval, which is down the parade, which is now part of Pembroke School. It was taken away from us in 1962.
Oh, well,
unfortunately, and converted to the Olympic sports field. It became a sports field.
Yeah.
And then a decade or so ago, they opened a new sports field down on the western side of the city, and it was then reverted to an oval, but Pembroke have the lease of that. So
we actually played, Chappie, I'm not sure if you remember.
I do indeed.
The reopening.
First game when it was reopened, Kensington played University.
I reckon that was in 2000.
About then.
Yeah, about 17 years ago.
Yeah.
But,
well,
beautiful ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2-dot balls to end the over.
That's what we can still do.
We're on.
Slow the run rate.
Run rate is slowed, 1 for 109.
So my
first
season, I came out to Kensington to train for what was then the under-16 schoolboys Christmas holiday competition. It's now an under-17 comp. Was at the old Kensington Oval. And then the next year we moved up here. 1963 we moved up here.
Here we go, Dave. The donk.
The donk is going to roll the arm over.
Yep.
This.
Right arm off spin.
I can't wait to see this. Right arm off spin.
Yeah. Handy too.
Hopefully the seam bowlers have given him some footmarks to work in.
Bit of turn and bounce. See what he can do for us.
See whether we can get the flight going. Fan favourite, I think, the donk. Someone's asked who's the coach at East Torrens. Either of you gentlemen know? Sorry. Wayne Banbrook, I'm being told.
Wayne Bradbrook. Wayne or Craig? So the Bradbrook brothers. Wayne played for Salisbury for about 1 million years, and Craig is a East Torrens legend. I played against him actually years and years ago. Made 1 million runs. Played for East Torrens for forever. Unless I'm mistaken, I think the pavilion might even be named after him up there. Is that right, Chappie?
Maybe.
I saw him walking around the boundary line earlier. He was looking very fit. One of them's the coach, I know that. Maybe someone can hit us up on the
I'm
Facebook
sure that
and
if someone's listening.
Save us from ourselves.
That one was just pushed away to square on the offside, and dunk will continue. Oh, played and missed, and
I reckon he's got a nick on that. I'm going to put that down as a chance.
See what happens. What the signal is.
Wicketkeeper, terrible work from the wicketkeeper.
That's runs.
Through the gloves.
Yeah, we've thrown the wicketkeeper under the bus.
Unusual for White. He's generally pretty tardy.
So there's a slip fielder in there as well now. So there's obviously a little bit of movement off the pitch, and they're looking for that edge.
Tidy over so far this from the donk.
It's probably been the most efficient over we've had so far. Don't want to put the commentator's curse on him though.
Another dot.
Jeez.
So individual scores. What have we got? Lehman would be at least 60.
I think that's
be far away from a half century.
That's probably a chance.
That would have been a Nathan Lyon catch if he'd taken that one.
What a great story Nathan Lyon is.
He is indeed.
I mean, I know that most people who curate the grounds are cricketers anyway, but to curate the ground at Adelaide Oval, to create the pitch at Adelaide Oval, and then find yourself destroying the best test nations in the world on it. What a great story.
Came over here as a curator and then got into the South Australian state squad. And
I think he got his start in the first incarnation of the 2020, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Before it went franchise.
Before he played Shield cricket.
Played 2020 for the Redbacks, and it all went from there. Now I've got to correct myself here because Cranmer, of course, was dismissed.
Yeah.
So got Jake Lehman on 58, and the new batsman is
Dougal.
Yet to score according to this.
Going straight. Ben Dougal still looking to get off the mark. Oh, he's just used his feet well. There's a fielder there. Oh, no. Dropped it.
Put him down. Who's that?
It's not Hose, is it?
Hosey.
It is the Jose.
Hosey's had a bad day.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, because he dropped the chance. I mean, it came at him quickly, but, you know, if you're playing at this level of cricket, they're the ones that need to go down, and that's unforgivable. Sorry, Jose.
He is a good, I mean, he's generally a good fieldsman. I've seen him take some good catches.
Another full one, just slapped forward of the wicket. So, Chappie, you will have been around this game a while, if you don't mind me saying.
A long time. A long time.
So we're playing in front of the wicket. We got some kids behind us watching as well. And I remember when I was a kid, it was all straight back and into that V.
Yeah.
Now it's anything goes as long as it gets to the. How do you feel about that, Chappie?
Well, I'm a bit of a traditionalist.
I know, which is why I assumed you were. So I just wanted to see.
You know, you play it in the V until you've got yourself well in, and you don't hit it in the air at all. Unless
You would have been fun to watch, Chappie.
Which is you and Jeffrey Boycott, I think.
It's well and truly a 360-degree game these days.
It is.
Yeah, and some of the shots we've seen Lehman just sort of ramp it and scoop it down the leg side a couple of times, and
you get the blokes that switch hands and
David Warner used like the double-sided bat and
the old ramp shot straight over the head.
Yeah, there's nothing now. I mean, and this is the thing. I mean, could you imagine in the old days someone bowling as quickly as Sean Tate? People just wouldn't be able to deal with it. With a straight bat, but now people do because they just ramp it off there and they just let it hit the middle of the bat and it just shoots away. The donk will continue and fielded well at point. But are you happy watching this level of cricket? Do you enjoy watching T20?
I don't call it cricket. I call it entertainment. I enjoy it as entertainment, but to me, it's sort of a hybrid between cricket and baseball.
Baseball is, yes,
I enjoy it as entertainment, but I'd never regard it as serious cricket.
No, yes, well, I think it has its place. It definitely has its place.
Yeah, and it's certainly drawing the crowds.
But can we turn
I mean, David Warner's shown you can adapt from T20 to Test cricket, but with some of the younger ones playing it, I just wonder whether they will develop the concentration span that you need for the long form of the game.
I was going to say that's going to be part of the issue. That's going to be part of the issue, is that how do you get kids who see this game and how it's played, how do you get them to then play the long form of the game?
And not only play it, but sit and watch it.
Oh, that's a full toss, and that's going to be swept away for 6.
That's the thing that worries me, is that the concentration span, not only in playing the game, but in watching the game. So we grew up watching Test cricket, and no different. And one-day cricket was hit and giggle novel when I was a kid, but Test cricket was the whole thing, and it was nothing for me as a kid to sit there and watch days and days of guys leaving the ball and blocking the ball and playing Test cricket. But these days,
watching the battle.
If you've got this time of year in particular, Big Bash on every night, and the razzle dazzle and all the big 6s and 4s.
Oh, and there we see our ramp shot from Lehman, and he's gone right over the top.
How do you then convince a young kid like some of the ones we see here to sit down and watch a Test match? Or to go and spend the day sitting in the grandstand watching a Test match?
I'd just like to big shout out to Jeff Hose, Adam Hose's dad, who's watching in the UK. So, hello Jeff, thank you very much for joining us.
Snowing there at the moment, isn't it?
Interesting.
Yes, pretty much most of the country. I don't know where exactly Jeff is from, but let us know, Jeff, whether you're in the snow. I know where I live in the northwest, where I used to live in the northwest, it was -7 the other day, so fairly wintry. But yeah, let us know.
But it's interesting in relation to adaptation, I guess. last season we saw John Dalton make that adaptation, because he, when he first came out here 3 or 4 years ago, he was playing first season he played in the seconds, and he was getting a lot of 30s, 40s. I mean, he made a couple of big scores, but he was getting 30s and 40s quite easily, and then getting out, hitting the ball in the air, getting out. And I think that's probably followed through into his first full season in first grade. But last season he got his head down and made some really big scores, so he made that transition.
Yeah, and it can be done. Yeah. But I would imagine trying to teach a kid the fundamentals at the moment is quite difficult. We are probably very close to this one.
Here.
And again, good footwork. They'll just tick off another single. And Jake Lehman will get the strike back with 5 to win it. 4 to draw.
Didn't 4 to win, wouldn't it? Didn't the Browns make 1-3-5?
Yeah, required is 1-3-6.
Yeah,
1-3-6
what do
to
you reckon,
win.
Chappie, this ball?
He's found a way, and 4 or 6. 4. So
Tied game.
we are, it's still there.
Still live.
Sure.
It's still
A
live.
chance. Need a wicket this ball, I reckon. Have you any chance, Chappie?
A couple of hat tricks will do you.
Yes, we need more than 1 wicket this ball.
Talk about
You did say
reinventing
this
the
was like
game.
baseball. You'll look for a double play.
Double play. Like we need about 9. Don't know if they've even done it in baseball.
And there's a sweep away, and it'll be just the one because the dunk will be out there, but one
Fitting,
is
really.
all
The
they
donk
need.
has the final touch.
So that will be it. East Torrens winning this one by 9 wickets, quite easily. And they will go to 1 and 2, and Kensington will go to 2 and 1. So you're still in a decent position.
Still in it. Still in
Still in it,
It
and-
would be nice to be 3-zip.
So what have we got left, Chappie? One more
One more.
round game?
One more round, and then you're into
And
the
then-
finals.
and then finals.
So we'll need to win that one to make sure of the final position.
And is
So
that-
we will
is that this
certainly
side of Christmas or
keep an eye out on the results.
in the
I
new
think
year?
it is. I think it must be in the new year. isn't
Yeah.
it?
So, once we got started and we were sort of 2 overs into the second innings, it was, the writing was kind of on the wall
It
then.
was.
I'm just trying to have a look at who you've got. Just as I try and go through these, you've got one more round. I'm just trying to work out where it is. Kensington, you've defeated SACA in the 19s at that point. Adelaide University on the 19th of December. And what today?
Is that a 2020 game?
This is the 2020 league.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Adelaide Uni.
But you got one more to go.
Next Wednesday.
Oh, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday at Adelaide University, Oval number 2, and then you're into the qualifying finals, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for joining us. As you can see from the sun behind us, the sun is going down here as we approach 8 o'clock. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for joining in with our coverage, and unfortunately the cookies didn't fall for Kensington tonight. Thank you very much for everybody who joined me. I had Jamie Pinelli, Barry Steele, Cheese, and Chappie. Have I missed anyone? I don't think I've missed anyone, have I? Barry Steele.
That it, I reckon.
That's everyone.
Great to be part of it.
Thank you very much for joining us. We hope that we will see you again very, very soon. Thank you very much to all the diamond sponsors for Kensington District Cricket Club. The platinum, the diamond sponsors and the gold sponsors will be up soon. Not the result you will have wanted, gentlemen, but as you say, you're still in the hunt. You got Adelaide University up next. If you can knock them off, then you'll probably find yourself in the qualifying final. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Dave Webb. Thank you very much for joining us at the home of Donald Bradman.